welcome back to my channel. I want to talk about Andrew and Candice in this last episode of Love During Lockup. So far, a lot of the stuff that I predicted was going to happen between these two is exactly what we're seeing play out. Candice is out and she's quickly realizing how all up in your face Andrew is and how he's all nonstop with the affection, and all the cigarettes in the world cannot cure the anxiety that Candice feels when she's around Andrew. Candice had to have Andrew rush her over to this place where she's supposed to be staying for at least the next 30 days before she's allowed to move into her apartment. So they pull up at this place in Vegas. She walks in, she talks to them, and then she comes back out and she is pissed. You would have thought that her probation officer told her that she was going back to prison with the attitude she had. She's like, this is terrible. This is like the worst news ever. And Andrew's like, what is going on? And she's like, they said I don't have to stay there. And it's like, girl, why are you flipping out and mad about that? I would be happy if I don't have to stay there and I can go back to my apartment. So she's like, yeah, I don't have to stay here. They just said I have to like register as a felon, try to get on some EBT, and she said that I just have to call every single day and let them know where I'm at. But she's kind of freaking out because she's like, well, my probation told me I have to be here. And this place is telling her the complete opposite. If I was in Candice's shoes, I would have been exhilarated. But I think Candice was really low-key freaking out because she was hoping she could avoid having to be around Andrew. And she thought she was going to get the easy way out. I feel like Candice thought she got herself an easy lick. And I think she probably would have never seen Andrew in person again if she would have went to that place, because she's already got the keys to the apartment, she's got the furniture, she's got the truck, so what else does she need him for? But I feel like she was not mentally prepared to spend time with him, and she started freaking out when she found out that she's gonna have to go back to the apartment, and of course he's gonna want to spend one-on-one time with her. So she's like, okay, we can go to the apartment, but I just want to take a shower and, pack my stuff. They get back to the apartment, and not only did Andrew get her, the nice truck, the apartment, but he's got her apartment full of furniture. He's got her a king-size bed, and it's a nice bed. It's probably nicer than the bed he has in his home. And he had the dresser and the headboard to match. He ordered her some Raising Cane's, and it seemed like everything was going good at first. Candice took her a little shower, and then she comes out, and Andrew and her go to the bedroom because she was tired. And like when they go into the bedroom, they have like this little stare offer moment because like they don't know, okay, who's gonna lay down where. And Candice quickly sets the boundaries. She says, look, I don't feel comfortable with you all up in my space. I want you to stay on this side of the bed and I'll stay on the other, which was more than I figured. I figured she was going to tell him he had to sleep on the couch or something. Candice said that she hasn't slept near anybody in over 2.5 years, so she doesn't feel comfortable just suddenly jumping into sleeping close with someone, which I don't know how much I believe that. I feel like Candice has probably had a few prison girlfriends. I'm all for someone wanting to take their time, but what I just don't like is when these people sell these people a dream and they have expectations. They build those expectations up. Like, they'll tell these people, oh, as soon as I get out of prison, the first thing I want to do is get freaky with you and, bang you all night, all day. And then they get out and do something like this, and it's completely different. They go from, oh, I want you to take me to Pound Town to, can you please not touch me? And that's just like a night and day difference. And then they wait till they get out of prison to say stuff like this. And I feel like this is a conversation that Candice should have had with Andrew before she got out of prison and before he bought all this stuff for her. And the producers even asked Candice, they're like, okay, are you even attracted to the man? Because that's what this is giving, that she's not physically attracted to him and that she just cringes every single time she's around him. And she's like, yeah, I'm attracted to him, but it took her like a good 20 seconds to even answer that question. And then when she did answer the question, she sounded depressed as hell and stressed out saying it. Like, usually somebody would be happy and excited and immediately answer when they're asked that question about their man. And it was just like the whole Brinwyn, how she was with Chaz when she first came out. She had the, super high voice, all lovey-dovey. But she couldn't even last a full 24 hours before the mask finally slipped. And that's exactly what happened with Candice. She finally just had enough. She could not continue with the front. And she just pretty much told Andrew to back the F up. So the next morning, she's apologizing to Andrew for not letting him cuddle with her, giving him any kitty cat. And she was explaining that she's been in some relationships where guys didn't treat her right, and she's afraid if he gets close, that's going to bring up past memories. It just seems like she's using any excuse that comes to mind at this point. She kept repeating that she also doesn't know how to cope now that she isn't on drugs, which I get that part. I remember the first time that I did it sober, it was so much different compared to being whacked out the whole time because you're like overthinking every stupid little thing. But I just feel like this is Candice letting herself continue to try to get everything she can out of Andrew and drag this out as long as possible without having to give him the cookie. Because it looks like Andrew's probably going to allow it. Like, this girl had a whole book of reasons why she's going to be intimate with Andrew. She's like, oh, I also feel guilty about not being with my kids. And I just wasn't feeling that excuse. I feel like if she felt guilty about not being there for her kids, then she probably wouldn't have put herself in the position to go to prison to begin with, especially with her son being 11 years old. And she's been in and out of prison continuously since he's been born. And she didn't even have custody of him. And I just feel like if her kids were that much of a priority, then she should have went directly to see her kids as soon as she got out, or had her kids meet her at the prison gate. I mean, I do hope she's able to rebuild and rekindle her relationship with her son, because all those years are a lot to miss out on when it comes to a child. And Andrew then asked Candice if she was even ready to be in a committed relationship, because she's giving all these excuses on why it's not going to work and just sounding like a little negative Nancy. And she's like, you know what? I want to do it alone. And she went outside and started telling the producers, I can do it alone. If that's the case, then do it alone. Like, she's acting so freaking ungrateful. And if she could have done all this alone, like get this apartment, get this truck, get this Louis bag and all the furniture in her apartment, then why drag Andrew into this mess when you claim that you don't even like being in a relationship because you don't like the things that come along with being in one, like showing the person attention and affection? She said that she was ready for Andrew to leave in 6 days because she said she'll be able to function better because she'll not have to worry about another person and their feelings. And I think she's just ready for Andrew to leave so she can go call up someone else, more her type, to come over. You want to know even more proof that Candice couldn't do it alone like she was claiming? This offer up profile that is Candice's, where she was selling a Ford Explorer that she had, and this whole time she had a car. She didn't even need the truck from Andrew, but of course she still got one from him. And she sold this, and she said in the description, reason for sale, need the money to move into an apartment. So this was right after Candice and Andrew allegedly split up, and she ended up getting with that guy who she's married to now. And she obviously did not have the money to move into her apartment. I mean, times are hard, but don't be out here trying to say, oh, I could have did all this myself, because if it wasn't for Andrew, then she would either be in a halfway house or a homeless shelter. Andrew is just so naive, and she's going to take him for everything. And by the time she's done, he's not going to have anything left to give. And he isn't even going to be an ideal person to date in the dating world, because he's going to probably be significantly in debt, broke and probably still paying for her car and no telling what other bills that he put in his name. And there's a rumor out there that apparently after she got with this new guy and married him, that he started seeing a girl in Brazil. And I mean, that would be a lot cheaper to probably date someone in Brazil. I mean, outside of all the traveling expenses. Maybe he's going to make his transition to 90 Day Fiancé next. I don't know. I just feel like Andrew is about to learn a hard life lesson when it comes to his relationship with Candice. But that is it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think about everything in the comments below. Check out my lashes and cosmetics at AccordingtoAmber.com. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.